All right. This is our Defenders live discussion. The Netflix. Is it Netflix's Defenders or Marvel's
It's
Defenders?
Netflix Marvel Universe.
Netflix,
Yeah,
Marvel
kind
Universe,
of
The
both.
Defenders. The culmination of all the
Straight level
Netflix.
heroes in
Yeah.
Marvel
Is there a
Universe.
name like the MCU for the TV shows, the Marvel
What'd you
Universe?
say?
Is there a name like a term like MCU
They
for
just call them Marvel Cinematic
No,
Universe.
but for the
this is
TV
like the
shows?
Netflix universe
Okay.
and then TV universe.
All right, so this is the culmination. This is the small time what's that fucking show? The Avengers, the small time Avengers, right? Of
Basically, like a street level Avengers.
yeah, for so it's Iron Fist. That show's made
Jessica
specific.
Jones.
Yeah, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Daredevil, right?
The Lit
Yep.
Squad.
Yeah. So yeah, this is basically their crossover event. They Let's start with um, what we think about the Marvel Netflix shows in general. Which one do you like the most, and what did you think of this one, Adosa?
Oh boy.
What do you think of how they're handled in general, the Netflix shows, and which ones do you
I
like, and
think
what do you like about them?
I starting out because I started watching Daredevil when it first came out. I thought like this is gonna be like amazing. I thought it was a great idea. I thought this is where Marvel can really get a little bit darker, a little bit grittier, a little bit more low scale, a little bit more character driven. Um, and that's how it was. For no, I'm not. I haven't finished Jessica Jones yet, but I've watched half of it by now. I think I'm halfway through it. But I think that's how it started out with Daredevil and Jessica Jones. I think they're both really good. Um, I've watched Luke Cage, and that had a good beginning, but a shaky ending for me. And Iron Fist kind of fell on his face, but it's kind of entertaining. So I think even though the Netflix series have been getting progressively worse, I still think it's a good avenue for Marvel to be in.
Okay.
I kind of enjoyed the way they're handling it.
Okay.
And for the
Kevin.
Defenders overall.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead,
Let's just
Ben.
go.
Go
Let's
ahead.
just go through everyone. Kevin, what do you think of
Pretty much I've seen every single one of these besides Jessica Jones. Iron Fist is the worst out of all of these. I heard about Jessica Jones. Um, either mediocre to negative
How come,
reviews.
how come nobody watched Jessica Jones? 'Cause she's a
I
girl,
watched
or
Jessica Jones.
no, I'm saying everyone who did. Like,
I mean, Jessica Jones. Well,
that
I
was the
can't.
one I was
Well,
the
there's no
most
point in me
excited
saying that.
about. I was more excited about that one than watching Daredevil because I like Christian Ritter a lot. And
She's
but
great. She's great.
yeah, no, she's
Wesley,
really
this
good.
is my platform to speak.
Good night. Shut down.
Go ahead, Kevin.
um, like I said, Iron Fist is the worst out of these. Iron Fist is like a 6 point.
In your opinion, all right.
Terrible,
Some people think it's the best one.
terrible, terrible. What's the word? Terrible action scenes, especially
Yes,
at the
I
beginning.
agree. Yeah, I agree.
The story itself is pretty flat. Besides the
Yeah.
hand themselves, I don't really find it. Too,
Minor characters.
like,
Minor characters were
it's
good.
not something. They were okay.
Colleen.
They were okay.
Colleen.
She was
Lit.
okay.
Asian girls?
Yeah, and the old lady, what was her name?
Lady Madame Gal.
Yeah, Madame Gao. I thought she was really good.
Madame Gao is not from Iron Fist. She's from Daredevil. So
Oh,
Yeah, she's in Iron Fist
crossover.
too.
Yes. Yeah, but she came from Daredevil, so she's a Daredevil.
Here's a more
character
prominent
to
role
me.
than Iron Fist, right?
Yeah, but look, she's a Daredevil character.
Okay.
Nigga, just let me finish.
Let's just move forward.
Now, said Iron Fist is the worst out of these. Luke Cage is the second best for me personally. And then I haven't seen. Well, come on. If Iron Fist is the worst, Luke Cage is pretty great. Black superheroes besides Static Shock in the Marvel universe.
I do think Luke Cage is
the villain. Oof.
fun. I do think it feels like it has like a fun style to it, and I think the actor that plays Luke Cage
Cage.
he's really like charming.
I like his
really
phrases.
That's really what.
Besides that, it's like it has that coon feel. Like it doesn't feel like I'm a black superhero.
It does.
Let me finish, Wesley. It doesn't feel like I'm a black superhero.
I guess.
Is in like some kind of stable community. It's like it feels real. It's like, okay, I can see a guy in Harlem working at a barbershop, not even wearing a superhero costume or anything, and freaking save people all the time. Like I could see that.
I think the idea is good, but I don't think Luke Cage works.
Whoa. Me first, before y'all get into your freaking discussion about Luke Cage.
Yeah,
I literally haven't even. I'm not even done yet. But
you took too long. Now your candy's gone.
I feel like
I'll speak over the Haitian woman now.
Ooh.
Daredevil is the number one.
Yeah. I have voodoo on my side too.
Okay. So big voodoo before, like. But Luke Cage is the second best one. That was like an 8 personally. The ending dropped in quality, but
you agree with that?
It wasn't like a drop.
I'm the opposite.
Do you like the ending better?
Yeah.
No spoiling. I'm gonna watch
Daredevil.
Oh my gosh.
You ever seen Daredevil?
I have not.
But
I've seen the video.
Matt Murdock. Okay. I mean, everybody in there is solid.
Okay.
It's pretty much one of the first ones, and then everything just goes down from there.
All right.
I think it was that one, then Jessica Jones, and Luke Cage. Then.
Okay. All right, Mariah. What do you think of the Netflix shows?
All right. My two favorite is Daredevil's number 1. Second's Jessica Jones. I'm not a fan of Iron Fist too much. My favorite part of Iron Fist was the Ward storyline. Everything else was crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was absolute crap.
Danny Rand?
I actually
Did you like him in the Defenders?
Yes.
I knew you were gonna like him.
He got better, so that made me happy.
The action scenes were also way worse than the
Defenders. Oh my God. He was worse than Defenders.
He got better in the Defenders. He was base status.
He got worse.
Oh my God.
I think Colleen got worse though. In this, the way
Colleen did get worse.
She was handled. I felt like
she got sidelined.
Colleen and
she got what I call weepy. She was crying over.
She got housewifed. Both of them got housewifed.
Yeah, they both
of them. They bothered me more that yeah. Oh my gosh, that bothered me so much.
They're in the crying girlfriend role, like on the side, like, oh, he'll come home, superhero boyfriend. Like
that Bakudo scene though. Her first Bakudo was boss ass though.
Towards the end,
yeah. Towards the end, she got her act done. My least favorite character.
I can never take that guy.
I hate Bakudo so much.
My least favorite character in all the series is Misty Knight because she's a bitch.
Really?
Gang. Yeah.
I liked her.
I hate Misty.
The
cop that had coffee with Luke Cage. Can we all talk about how Luke Cage has fought like 3 of the main girls?
Yeah, I thought that was funny. If you want to get into
pretty much all the chicks on the show.
Yeah, all the main chicks, but Colleen.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of intentional, but he's supposed to be like a blaxploitation hero, right? Like it's like playing off like obvious stereotypes.
No, he was in Luke Cage's like first incarnation in the comics. He was like kind of like a guy who would go around like having sex with a bunch of people.
He was in a gang before in his origin story.
No.
Oh, you're talking about
in the comics. Yeah, in the comics, he was like a guy who was just like the afro that go around having sex.
He had an afro, he had the lightning, yellow thunderbolts, and it was like, Luke Cage, strong brother, like the taking his hair, and he was like Shaft. He was like Shaft the superhero. That's it. But all right. So, what did you think of the way all these shows came together in the Defenders? Let's start with.
Can I go first? I want to go first.
I feel like everybody's gonna have really divisive, strong opinions about this. So yes, Mariah, go ahead.
To give it an N Oh.
Not enough
for the overall. I think that what they did the best, other than the interactions itself, the plot line was garbage. Oh my gosh. But I really liked Luke and Danny's. I can actually call him the Iron Fist. It's not the Danny show anymore. It's the Iron Fist. He actually is the Iron Fist in this. I liked their interactions, and I liked how they paired up the more quieter people together. You know, Matt and Jessica. So I thought their interactions were well, but Alexandra was a no. Bakuto and Gao becoming underlings that a character we've never met before was a no. Like there were so many like big NOs to like
people have problems. People have problems. I did have problems with the lady
Alexandra.
Yeah, that's like Sigourney Weaver or something.
You mean Sigourney Weaver?
Sigourney Weaver. Which I mean, I get it. She's a famous actress, so she had more like stage presence.
I think she.
Yeah, I think she. Yeah, she was really good in the role. But at the same time, for some reason, like even with characters I knew, like Madame Gao and stuff, certain characters on the villain team were more intimidating. Like they were more intimidating underlings. Like Madame Gao, it was like a really intimidating figure compared to most of the rest of them. Like she was more intimidating than the leader Sigourney Weaver was playing, I guess, to me. So it felt awkward that like she wasn't in charge because like she just had more presence.
They watered down her character. At first, she was like, "Oh, I'll get you tea. Oh, I'll get you coffee," like stuff like that. Like, and at first,
I think she's supposed to be Alexandra's supposed to be really strong, but she was starting to. She's the first person that started to die, and so Elektra was kind of her crutch. Like Alexa was supposed to be like her muscle.
But she decisively beat it.
Trash character.
Well, actually, that was before. All
right.
But I'll talk about it.
All right. Well, Mariah, is that all you have to say? That you did the first problem you had with this?
No, people can keep going.
Okay. Well, I wanted to say since you brought up the villains, this, like I said, it was weird because like Madame Gao was really intimidating to me. Alexandria, I guess. I don't even remember her name. Like
Alexandra.
Like she was alright. Like the acting was good, everything. But first of all, like the idea of a team of elderly people fighting these sparrows just feels kind of awkward to me. Like it's like,
when they pushed me down, I was like, "Watch out, bro!"
Yeah, when Luke Cage got into a fight with Madame Gao, I was like, "Really? Love how this fight?" I was like, "There's no way the fight sequence is gonna be that amazing unless she wears a mask or something. They can swap her out with a body double really quickly." I was like, how elaborate is this old lady about to throw hands with Luke Cage? Like, it's not gonna
she was throwing exciting. Like air fist, like she was like the Avatar.
She did throw a card at him. It was a little cool, but I knew it wasn't gonna last that long to be that like dynamic because she's an old lady.
That was my first problem.
No.
When she got one time she got thrown, and I was like, oh my.
Yeah, me too. Because I was surprised. I was like, this is gonna suck, and I was like, oh, okay. But then I was like, it's over. But I did like I don't know if he was in one of the other shows, the Japanese Yakuza guy who was introduced eating the bear or whatever.
I forgot his name. He's never showed up.
Yeah, he's never showed. I was really confused about that too.
He was really cool, and for me, since I didn't see other shows, like he was new.
He should have been the leader.
Like he was cool. Yeah, I would have liked him a lot better. Like he was really intimidating and cool. Like that's
he was cool until he started fighting. Because if you notice, he lost almost every fight.
Yeah. He wasn't physically strong at this point.
Like
he lost every
his intro with cutting the bear.
Yeah, when he was introduced, it was
like that was sweet. I was like, bro, this guy's about to be amazing.
No.
Then he started fighting.
He said, "Oh, what have you been doing?" And he said, "That bear almost killed me." And then he said she was pretty much like they were having that conversation about like him doing this like constantly, pretty much saying this nigga been killing bears. Just for fun.
Yeah. Because like they always almost.
I mean, I understand because he was the only character that didn't have any grasp for the series, so of course they kind of threw him. They threw him in the bag. So even though he had a nice like kind of stabilization, better than Alexandra, who by the way we didn't like learn anything about. Like like we started to get to know her character at the very end, and they kill her. I'm like, okay, I guess. Like I mean. whatever.
We didn't really get to
She was there was no
motivation. We learned that she was like sick.
that was it. It was like
why she was trying to do.
She was sick and she just was trying to rush an operation.
So that's one problem. And the one last thing I want to mention about the villains, since I didn't watch Daredevil enough to see Elektra, is Elektra so strong that she can take on all of these defenders at once as like a.
Let me stop you right there. Wait.
Good night.
I'll tell you why.
Yo, let's get out of here.
I'll tell you why she can do that. One, in Daredevil, she actually beat Matt a couple of times. For one.
Yeah, but she beat him in this.
But Wesley,
the only person she beat
listen. Let me explain this to you. Wesley, shut up. I'm explaining it. Shut up. Now, do you remember when she was resurrected? She was put in that little
blood pot.
That blood pot. Lazarus pit. Yeah. Copying fucking DC.
Batman.
But she put Rest but when you put someone in there, I think they made a statement. Like if you read the comics, they said that like you come back stronger than you were before because you crossed the path of like between life and death and your bodies. I don't know, but yeah,
you do.
She came back. She came back way stronger.
And Elektra. She if you watch Daredevil Wesley, she's a Black Sky, and not only
she
gets stronger every time she gets resurrected, she gets stronger every time she kills somebody too.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the idea of a human weapon being stupid as fuck?
She's like a sand.
Oh my God.
Basically.
First of all, I never understood what about the first Black side that Stick killed and like the
that
kid?
guy.
The kid.
Besides the villain.
The kid.
I thought the minor characters were handled well for the most part. Like Stick, I really like that. Like the way he was handled. He was
super cool. Cut his arm off.
He was super cool throughout.
When Stick cut his arm off, I was like, "Ooh, the end's near, buddy."
I was like, "There's no way he's gonna die with no reaction."
I thought it was just like a video game.
Stick's important. Stick's important in Daredevil season 2. So
is he?
Yeah.
He's from Daredevil.
Yeah, he's from Daredevil.
Yeah.
So
he's Matt's master. He's the one who taught Matt how to fight.
The second he started cutting off his arm,
you didn't know that?
casually,
he said that in the series.
Yeah.
He talked about training Elektra, but I didn't notice that
he trained Elektra.
He referenced training a little bit, but I thought that was like after.
Yeah, if you didn't watch all the series, you probably missed a few of the references, but that's fine.
Yeah, he did mention it, but I thought that was like when he was dating Elektra or something. By the way, was Daredevil handled well in this series?
I don't see.
Wesley, look,
he was
if you
the
watch
lamest one.
He was the lamest
one. Yeah, he was the lamest
double
one.
chin. All he did was go like you kind of got a feel for all the characters except Daredevil. All you knew about him really from this was he liked Elektra.
The reason,
that's basically all you
there's a reason for that. I can't say anything else besides watch season 2 and you'll understand why he's acting like
in the fight sequence.
But
normally
Matt is a very personally he's very charismatic.
The end
normally to me personally he's pretty charismatic to me.
He was alright.
Like he's a pro.
Can I defend it for a second? Let's see. Hold on. I think that even though he wasn't my favorite part. I do think I liked his story because he was fighting with not being Daredevil in the beginning, and I really enjoyed that. Like he was trying to deny that he really because the thing about Daredevil, and if you watch the story, the thing about it that they kind of hint at, but they don't talk about a lot. But I like that they don't talk about a lot. Like he's addicted to being Daredevil, and if you read like Frank Miller's comics, you'll know that more. Like he loves it so much. It's kind of like Bruce Wayne and Batman. Like they try to act like they don't like doing it, but they actually love doing it. And I like how he was trying to fight with not doing it. And even I don't like Karen and Foggy; they're annoying in the Defender show because they keep telling him not to. But I like him trying to battle with that and finally accepting it to be a part of the team and to help Elektra because Elektra did die in his arms.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, what's that?
Okay,
they
use the
see
same.
How charismatic
No. But look, they the Defenders ended pretty much the same way. like Daredevil season 2 ended, in which someone dies, quote unquote dies, and then comes back at the last second. Like what? Like come on, like have a different plot line for a season finale.
All right. Let's talk about that. Why I think the really major problem for me, I don't know whether everybody liked this or how much you like the Defenders. I thought the interactions were good. I thought it was really I thought they did a good job of at the beginning showing the atmosphere and like the tone of every single individual show, because I feel like I got a feel for like every show at the beginning, and they were all blending together pretty well. Like when they showed Luke Cage, it felt like Luke Cage. When they showed Jessica Jones, it felt like that show. When I saw Daredevil, it felt like this is Daredevil's universe, not like
you felt like the soundtrack,
the style.
Wesley, I have a question. Are we gonna go in order, or are we just gonna keep doing this? Because
we're not, Kevin. We're having a discussion. It's not like you stand up in front of the class.
No, but if I remember correctly, before you were going in order.
Yeah, I am.
What are your individual thoughts? And you're not going in order anymore. I don't even know what we're doing anymore.
That was in the beginning when we kind of needed somewhere to start off, Kevin. If it just starts mushing, it starts mushing.
All right. And also, what did you think of the Defenders overall?
Oh no.
Honestly, I kind of agree with Mariah. I'm not a huge fan of the story, and I think it's because first let me talk about my likes first, so I'm not just starting off negative. I do like the dynamics.
He put on his glasses.
Luke Cage and Iron Fist. I mean, if you guys, I told you guys about this earlier, but they have their own comic called Heroes for Hire.
Yeah, I remember that you mentioned that.
Man, it has to happen. They have to have a show.
Yeah, it feels like they played off.
I am begging Marvel and Netflix to make a show for them. I don't think they're gonna. I think they're gonna go a different route, which I'll talk about later. But Luke Cage and Iron Fist were the two standouts for me. That was my favorite part. Watching them in episode 3 when they were at Midland Circle, and when Danny came in the office and he was talking to Alexandria, and they had to fight, and Luke Cage and him had to fight everybody in the office. That was my favorite episode.
When he hid behind him to deflect.
Oh my gosh, that was so good. After that episode, I was like, oh my gosh, my life.
That was probably one of my favorite scenes. He was used to as a deflect. I was like, no.
Yeah. So every time them two when they were on screen, I was happy. And Jessica Jones did good too. Daredevil. I liked everybody in the group. I'm kind of disappointed that Colleen got sidelined. I love Elektra. And Claire got sidelined too. I love Elektra in this because this is kind of what Elektra turns into, and I'm a costume guy, so her outfit is so much. They're getting so close to how it is in the comics.
Yeah, I know.
All she really needs is the bandana, and it looks so good. But Elektra's great. She's really strong, which I like. And but my problem really with the show is the villains, and I don't feel much of a threat other than Elektra. The Hand, I'm done with the Hand. I'm so done with the Hand. I swear to God, if the Hand is another villain in another show, I might not watch because they are so weak. And it's so disappointing because this could have been so good if the antagonist was at the level of the characters we were following. If there was a real clash, if there was a real threat, I think this show would have been much better.
Yeah, but I mean, there's supposed to be.
But it never felt like there was a threat. Even when, like I was saying, even when the guy that was cutting up the bear, I forget his name.
No one knows his name.
But when he first got into the Chinese restaurant they're at, he lost.
Yeah.
And I think at least you have to show them at least struggling against the villains a little bit until the finale, so that we feel some type of tension. But there was never that.
It was weird. There's supposed to be this organization with all this power or something. Like I didn't get what besides coming back to life and kind of being athletic. I mean, that one guy beat up Luke Cage a little bit, right? The guy that captured.
And Luke Cage captured Whitehead. He captured him when he captured him.
Yeah, but he's not.
By
He's not.
himself.
To be fair, he's
Oh my god! I was like, are you kidding me? What is happening?
Someone got bodied after Luke got.
When you run out of screen time, you gotta.
So that was just very disappointing. But those are my just initial thoughts. I wish after episode 3, I was like, my life just got 1,000 times better. I can't believe this is here.
Yeah.
And after the series, I was like, no, my life's kind of the same.
All right, Mariah, what did you think overall?
I kind of already said my overall thoughts, but I think my biggest disappointment. Wait, no. Stop that. My biggest for me, my biggest disappointment was how hyped up Claire was to be, because out of everyone, she was the most character that traveled between the universes, and the fact that she was not used at all. She didn't
even catch anybody up.
Yeah, she didn't even talk to Matt until the second last episode, because I was waiting for
weird.
that conflict. It was like she was just. I was like, wait, she knows everyone, and they just threw her in a box. Like, I understand them wanting to push out Colleen because they just want to focus on the Defenders. They didn't want to mix the universe too much. So I understand why they did what they did, even though it was kind of uncharacteristic of her. But Claire was like that one that she was the string, and I was like, why didn't you use her?
She said, I know all you guys. Like, let me introduce you.
Like she
that one scene, and that was it.
But I wanted her the first episode that I wanted her to be there the first episode and to just laugh or be like, holy crap. Like, I just wanted her to share that moment with them. They didn't, and I was like,
it was funny to me. It was unintentionally funny to me, that ending scene where like they're all in the room and all the side characters are next to each other, waiting for each superhero to come back. I laughed.
I get why Colleen wasn't a part of it, but it's just so
it was
I hate it so much.
I mean, they like pushed characters like Ward that he was just on a vacation, but like, it would have been weird if Colleen wasn't next to him, so they had to get rid of her some way. So I get it.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, she did have her little fight sequence at the end.
I also understand Alexandra, because they wanted a villain that was new, because for like people like my dad who's only watched 2 of the series to jump in and understand what's going on. I understand that, but for a series so short, they should have had a main villain that got their hands dirty, rather than try to be that like on top and only barking at orders so you don't get to know their personality. I think that was their biggest mistake. I think if she got her hands dirty at all, like physically, like it would have been good. But she was a character that we just already seen so many times in all these series. And it was like we never ever got to know her, and her death, I just clapped.
But I mean, if it helps at all. If it helps at all, I don't know if it does, but they couldn't. That was it. So they couldn't go like revive themselves because they used everything they had left on Elektra. So that I think that's why she was a little bit more reserved than she would have been, because that's her last life.
Nah, but that's why I wanted somebody who would lead it, who was more ruthless. Like I think it would have been interesting to have one of the other characters, that one Japanese guy kind of care about his life more. Like,
I would have liked to know why she, out of all of them, was like
considered the leader.
Yes.
Because she's the one that started the rebellion against Kunlun.
Yeah, but she didn't.
And she was the strongest.
What we saw, she did not deserve that name. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to see. I wanted to see. I didn't want to be told that was the fact.
You wanted to see the respect.
Because I didn't feel it in the story. Like I didn't feel it as so. I wasn't convinced.
They were all trying to coup her every time we saw her.
Yeah.
Like
that also hurt her to me. That scene where I was I was like, she's a little intimidated, but I don't totally buy her as being able to keep all of them under her thumb like this. And then like they started saying basically like, we don't trust you. Like they were trying to usurp her from power, and then made her seem even weaker, that they weren't intimidated enough.
Wesley, she herself even said that that's not the first time that they tried to.
But still, this is the only time we've seen her.
If anything, if they tried it before, then they should know what happened.
I'm agreeing with you. Damn.
We're about to jump, Kevin.
I'm just saying, I get it, but there's a difference between showing something, convincing the audience, and just telling the audience that's just the way it is, and making you feel like it makes sense to you. Like it follows
And
the
I think
logic.
I think it's a perfect segue to what do you guys think about it being only 8 episodes?
It was. I think if they did any more, I mean, it depends. If they were going to stick to the same storyline, maybe would have got to know Alexandra more. I think it was enough episodes.
Well, it wasn't. I feel like
it was, but it wasn't enough.
It's like 8. I don't want to see 8 more episodes of this because it was the plot to me was very cliche and predictable. Like I was literally predicting line after line, like minutes before they were happening. Like when I watched it with Lisa, I was like, he's gonna say this, and now he's gonna say this, and she was laughing because I was exactly right. And I was like, this is the guy who's gonna betray them, and like I was exactly right an episode later. I was like, she's gonna do this, and then it's gonna get out of hand, and they're gonna stop trusting her, and it was exactly right because it was such a predictable, cliched plot line.
It's definitely could. It's definitely
it was really contrived, and I was just like
I said, the interactions were the only good thing about.
But I think maybe that's because it was so short, and they were trying to like play it safe or something. Because supposedly these are all better shows. Supposedly the sum of all the parts is better than the Defenders, right? Like all these shows are better than the Defenders overall, except maybe Iron Fist, right?
Besides
that's what people say. Yeah, that's what people say. So maybe because
Daredevil is factually a 9 out of 10. I don't want to hear anything.
Nah, I don't know about that.
Amazing.
Question mark.
I don't want to hear
opinions. That one, it can be a 10 out of 10 because that first episode.
I think no.
9 out of 10. Wesley, good God.
I think I should have teared. I shed a tear when his when you saw the flashback with his dad. He was like, "But we always get back up, right, Dad?" I was like, "Yeah."
But whether it like the all the shows are fully better than this, and maybe they thought they could play it really safe and just come up with this really straightforward kind of like simple excuse for them all to team up, sort of generic plotline. Maybe that's what they were trying to do. So maybe more episodes, they would have more room, the writers or something, and they would have done something
maybe
with it. Because I think that's what it was trying to get at. If it was longer, it would be better.
But
I think so. I think if it was 13 episodes like every other.
I also think that they didn't want to make it too messy, in which they would. Because they wanted to keep it simple so that they could all disperse without being too involved. So they wanted this to be kind of for the fan service in a sense, rather than an actual series that they're going to continue. They don't want it to affect. They wanted a little fun series. We could see all your heroes interact, but they wanted to keep it in a bubble so that their goal wasn't to. Really, it was kind of to end plot lines or kind of make, because everyone at the end kind of starts going off on their own. Like they don't want to make sure that all the characters are always in each other's universes now. Like you said, like maybe Luke and Danny will start kind of interacting more, but they don't want to waste their budget on all of them being in each other's shows now. Like I think they made it simple on purpose, and I don't think 13 episodes would have made it any better because once again they want to keep it simple. So we probably would have gotten 8 more episodes of just elongated bullshit. So I'm fine with 8 episodes that we have, and I'm satisfied with my little interactions. I'll be fine for another 2 years.
All right. Well, that scene. This is completely like non sequitur. But the scene when Daredevil Matt Murdock finds the map in the piano, right?
Yeah.
Was that him intentionally asking questions like, "Oh, do you play the piano? Why is there a piano there? I'm gonna go check it out," and then be like,
"No, he noticed."
Or was that like him stumbling across?
No, he knew. He knew. It's Matt.
He knew. He was investigating the piano, right?
Yes, because she said he's always standing there, and he knew that this dude's kind of like secretive, so he probably put something in the piano. Matt's a smart dude. If it was Danny, it would have been a mistake, but it was Matt.
All right,
Danny would be like, "Oh, let me take the piano. He's always there." Danny.
Also, in Jessica Jones, because I know Luke Cage is a character in that show, right?
Yes.
Are they do they have like the same chemistry you would say as that they do in this show, or was it different since like the time has passed? Because I actually thought they played off each other really well, and I kind of wanted them to be in the show together instead of like having separate shows.
So what they did is that like they were in a relationship, then they kind of broke up, and so they have this relationship where they're kind of fighting each other, and they're like fighting together, and the way they're fighting together is kind of like a sort of apology to each other. And I think they did it really nicely because they're not really kind of being like best friend buddies, like let's go. But at the same time, like they're keeping kind of like talking low. And I like how they addressed it at the end, and they didn't kind of like. I think it was a very subtle way.
You don't like it? It also worked.
No, that was Kevin.
I thought Kevin,
fine.
you don't like
it? Fine with it.
No, I thought it was.
I shipped them. I want them to be.
Yeah, I thought they. My issue with Jessica Jones, because I like Christian Ritter as an actor, and I was like super hyped to watch Jessica Jones. I watched the first episode, and I like the visual style of it. Like they each have different colors. Like Lizzie pointed out, like the show was a different color. Like Daredevil was red, and Jessica Jones was blue, and Luke Cage was like brown or whatever. And
it's like this yellowish, like Harlem. Let's go, black people.
Harlem, yeah, it's an orangish brownish color. But like I like that actress, but the thing is, every other thing Christian Ritter is in the actress that played Jessica Jones, she's a comedic actress. Like she's really, really funny, and they have her playing this character that's really like sour and down.
In the actual show, she does have.
Is she funny?
It's kind of like a dark comedy for her.
Yeah.
Like she has one-liners. Like if you can tell in the Defenders, she has the most one-liners out of everybody in the
group.
She
made a couple one-liners.
She does that in her show. It's more of a darker comedy. It's not like she's like telling yucks on stage, but it's a darker comedy to it. She's kind of. I mean, her liners are funny. I'll say that.
Okay.
The benefits of not watching TV at all is the fact that I don't have these previous actor names in my brain, so I see the character as it is.
Okay. But no, you're missing out on one of the greatest canceled comedies.
Wait, which movie are you talking about?
I'm saying.
She's saying she doesn't recognize.
No, I'm talking about what movie are you talking about, Christian?
Christian. I was actually thinking of I seen her in a couple movies, but I really, really remember her from that. There's a sitcom called "Don't Mess with the Bitch" in Apartment 26 or something like that.
23. Apartment 23.
Yeah, the Apartment 23. Yeah, she was the first season of that is really super funny. I love her. I watched it on like Netflix like a year ago or something. I'd never seen it, and I watched it all in one day. I was like, "This is so good! This is so good." So I'm used to her like that, and everything else I've seen her in, she was like that.
No, it's not like that.
Yeah, and Jessica Jones isn't bad, but it's also like a very like I get exhausted from how edgy her character is, how super how like they really hit you over the face. Like she's a drunk, like she's serious, like she's depressed, she's angry. She's not the type of girl who's out having fun. She's in a room. She's dirty, and she's just drinking at a fucking MacBook all night. Like, and the thing is, she still looks like a beautiful movie star. She doesn't look like some messy drunk. She has on a nice like fucking expensive scarf and like coat, like pea coat on and stuff. She doesn't look like an actual like alcoholic train wreck of a woman would be or something. But they really like hammered over your head, like she's dirty and grimy and gritty and angry at the world, like that sort of thing. And it's like that's all right, but I feel like they need for me to deal with that character, she needs to have somebody to play off of that's a little more lighter. And I feel like Luke Cage in the Defenders, like their dynamic, it worked because he's such a like friendly like guy, like he's like the gentle giant sort of like cool guy, and she's so sour that it kind of like it edged him up a little bit, and it like softened her enough where they were both more likable around each other.
I think you like the show.
After Luke leaves, they give her what's his name? Like Michael is his name? Her next neighbor.
Malcolm.
After Luke leaves, Malcolm takes that role to soften up, and Malcolm is like kind of chirpy, and you see that in the Defenders. He's like in her house all the time. He's eating.
I saw that.
Malcolm's hilarious.
I watched a couple episodes of the first couple too, and he was cool.
Yeah.
But,
I didn't think they were taking that direction with his character in Jessica Jones. So now that I see him, I'm like, yo, look at you go.
Yeah. Okay, so all right.
Malcolm. Oh no!
But,
I remember that dude from Spartacus. He was that black boy that used to get raped.
I think
what were the positive things you liked about it?
Before you asking me,
I already said.
I said mine too. Character interactions.
the positive things. I
Oh,
have a lot of
Kevin,
negative
what
things
did
to
you
say.
what did you not like about it? You didn't
Oh
like,
no.
Kevin. What did you overall?
Let me just do an overall because
He's about to
trying to
take out a
pick out a
list.
thing. Yeah,
Kevin said he liked it a lot. I think. Right?
Oh, he did.
I didn't
Kevin,
say I
you
liked it a lot. Don't put words in my mouth.
Wait, Kevin, I need a
Yeah,
rating
no.
right now.
You'll get your rating at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Hand. Oh, they're being used in too many series. I think. I don't know if they're not in Jessica Jones, but they're in Daredevil and Iron Fist, and they're so prominent in this entire thing, and they're not all that, like, they're kind of regular people with like enhanced, like, augmented strength. Like, they're stronger than the average person, and clearly they have better reflexes and everything, but they're not like Hydra or anything. They're not other Marvel, but they're not. There's nothing that they do that's really all that special. Their leader isn't special in any way. Their foot soldiers aren't special. Their whole organization is pretty boring. Like, their whole ideology on, like, not trying to die. That whole thing is very whatever. But Alexander as a leader, oof. I feel like she could have been better. She should have definitely thrown hands. The side, like, when it came to Colleen and Iron Fist, she was cool and everything, but I'm not like heartbroken that she's thrown to the side. Like, that's just whatever to me. Danny got worse personally to me. He made some very stupid decisions. Like, he was saying some stupid cliche
when
hero
he
stuff.
turned against
Oh my god!
And, like, tried to do his own thing.
Oh my god!
He didn't turn against them.
He didn't turn on him, but he wanted to get away and go fight the hand. But you're literally the key. And
he kept saying together, and they were the one who was trying to throw him away.
Yeah.
They weren't trying to
were
throw
lock
him away. They weren't trying to throw. They were doing the smart thing.
I know.
They were, but I understand why he was frustrated.
Yeah, but if you were in that situation, Kevin, you were the first person to be like, "Let me at him." So let's not. Like, if I was Danny, I would do what he did. So I am in the series. Like, I think Danny was spitting like the most facts. I was like, "Yo, let's go, Danny!" Like,
I think
the suit.
Stick was spitting the most facts.
No, well, that's Stick.
Yeah.
Always
That's
I'm just gonna kill him, bro.
Look, all I know is Stick cut off his hand like a G. That's all that matters. But I don't know anything about Jessica Jones, but I really, really did not like is the way that kind of Matt was. It's understandable because if you watch the season 2, you'll understand why he's acting away. But he's much more open, much more of a at least in my opinion, he's more charismatic, like, in his own series, and you don't really get to see that. Like, let's say you're somebody who hasn't watched any of these and you're watching the Defenders, you're not gonna like Matt as much, like him at all, because he's pretty much acting like some kind of recluse, and it's like, I don't know if I like you all that much. Danny, like I said, very annoying. Jessica, that's my spirit animal, the goat, as usual. Then you had Luke. Luke really, he was like, okay. He wasn't like, he didn't get to really showcase like his personality. He only said like his regular catchphrases a few times. Like, he said "Sweet Christmas" and "Sweet what? Sweet sugar" or something.
Yeah.
But
that's such a black thing. Oh my god. I caught those. I was like,
oof, Madam Gao, the Asian guy. I need to find his name. That dude is so fucking lit.
Yeah, I thought he was.
I think his name was
better.
Kenta. Like, for what he was, he was pretty.
He was like a Tarantino character or something. The thing is, for some tough Japanese Yakuza dude, I need to see the evidence that he's gonna follow not just a woman, but an American woman. Like, I need evidence. I cannot culturally
Wesley, I peeped that too. I'm like, why are all these culturally people?
They would never do that.
I noticed that too. I'm like, all
He
these
wouldn't even
cultured
respect
people.
a Chinese. He think a Japanese, a tough Japanese thug will respect an old Chinese lady.
Are we going there?
You
Are we
would
going
not.
there? Really?
That is
Culturally,
fact.
these people
That
are
is- that is-
enemies.
Come on,
They're
man.
enemies, bro.
You know why
Like-
Guinevere was casted, man.
No. Yeah. I
that
understand
is
that.
factual.
I understand that. I just wanted to see. They can cast a puppy to be the leader, but I need to see evidence that puppy is vicious and intimidating enough that they're gonna like respect that puppy.
Snowball from Rick and Morty.
Yeah, I need to see evidence. Like in Kill Bill, there was like the Chinese teenage girl was the leader of the fucking, like the Yakuza, and they're like, why are we respecting the Chinese half-breed American bitch? And then like,
Even if they were gonna have the hand,
it's like, all right,
even if they were gonna have the hand, they should have their own line of like superhuman people to sort of combat like people like let's say for every Jessica Jones or for every Luke Cage, like you have one Luke Cage type character, like somebody who can match him in terms of like.
That's what I thought they were gonna do. That's what I thought they were.
You need somebody that can match Jessica. Jessica, I don't really know much about her abilities, but it looks like she's super strong.
She's strong. She can fly.
That's about it.
She can fly in the series, but she can fly.
And Matt pretty much bodied all of them. He bodied Danny. Yeah, he bodied Danny.
Matt Murdock?
Yeah, Matt.
Yeah.
In the Defenders, he bodied all.
He bodied not all of them. He bodied Danny. I forgot. He bodied Danny.
I had to argue with my friend about this because he said that
he made him look stupid.
Fight better than
and he was holding back too. That's not true.
And I kept telling him, no, Daredevil fights better.
Yeah, he does fight better.
Does he? Does he in the show?
Daredevil is the best.
What's he?
Matt.
Daredevil was the entire Defender series. Like,
no, Matt's a good fighter.
Until he put on the suit. Before he put on the suit, he was constantly getting his ass beat. Like I was like,
yes, Wesley, because he's in his street. Of course,
but that jacket was slowing him down, though.
Come on, don't
do this. He couldn't fully see with that scarf on his head, man.
I guess so. I mean, he's blind, but I would think he wouldn't need it. But it was like he was getting his ass beat when he fought Elektra the first time.
He was fighting Elektra without weapons, and it's a stronger Elektra, and it's also Elektra, Wesley.
So Elektra didn't beat anybody up.
Wesley.
Matt? What are you talking about? She bodied everybody.
She beat Finn. She beat Iron Fist in the beginning.
No, in the beginning,
she handled everybody. She handled everybody.
First appeared, they were in the hallway, and they were like, "Who is that?" And Matt was like, "You don't want to know," or like they were like, "Let's get out of here. You don't want to find out." And they were running from her, and then the thugs came in. They started fighting the goons, and then Elektra caught up to them, and then Matt started fighting her. She was beating Matt's ass. Iron Fist jumped in. She pulled out the sword. He broke the sword in one.
No, I'm talking about in the first episode. She beat him. The first scene.
Was even besides even besides that, she was handling when all four of them came upon her, she handled all of them easily. She handled them all easily. Yes, she did. And then she got away. Yeah, she fought them all. She fought all four of them off.
Clearly.
yes, because she's a superhuman now, Wesley. What kind of stupid question are you asking me? She's not a regular human being anymore.
So she's weaker? Like, what do you mean?
She's stronger. One, she killed a lot of people. Wesley, look, listen. You broke the sword, so the fuck what? You didn't do anything to her. It doesn't matter.
He knocked her through a wall when he punched the sword. He shattered her sword and knocked her through a wall. Casually.
Yeah, later on. He didn't casually. All he did was punch through her sword. All he did was punch her through. All of them had to jump.
Bro, this is
even have a chance.
You guys listen.
Bro, Elektra is weak in the story.
No.
Wesley, you claim to be about for women's rights, but you're not accepting. You a fake ass thing out here. Don't be out here flexing like.
Wait, hold on. Let me say this real quick. I want them to do. What I want them to do next is Heroes for Hire. I want them to do a Danny Rand and Luke Cage crossover. I don't think they're gonna do that. I think they hinted at it, but at the ending they didn't hint at it, and that made me feel like that's not the direction they were really trying to go. Spoilers if you're watching. You can see Daredevil dying at the end. And coming back to life, obviously. But he's like super injured. What I think they're gonna do in the comics, Danny Rand takes over the moniker of Daredevil for a little while.
Really?
And I think that's what they're gonna do next. Yeah, I think that's what they're gonna do next.
Oh no!
I think it plays out.
No way.
I think it plays out. It plays out perfectly.
No,
I think
no,
he's done. There's no way he's gonna be able to be Daredevil for a long time.
They're not gonna. First of all, they're all separate shows, though. They're not gonna have him being the star of Daredevil for a while. Like that would be crazy.
Stop. One, Iron Fist hasn't even. Iron Fist hasn't even worn his own suit yet.
Exactly.
The producer from the show even said he's not wearing the suit for like 2 more seasons. So of course,
exactly. I don't see why that means he couldn't take on Daredevils. That's not what I want to happen, but I think I have a feeling that's what's gonna happen next.
Look, it's like
I think they will do Heroes for Hire in a way where I think there'll be some Danny Rand episodes of Luke Cage, and there'll be some Luke Cage episodes of
Danny Rand.
Yeah, I think they'll guest star on each other's shows a little bit. Like they'll do some crossovers like between the two of them on each respective show, but it won't be its own show with them together. I mean, they'll probably just like I'm visiting Harlem. Or like,
Oh yeah, how'd you guys feel about the discussion Danny and Luke Cage had when Luke Cage was calling him a privileged white boy and what he was doing was wrong? Do you think that was like too on the nose? Oh, you don't remember?
Oh yeah, no. When he was talking about him being rich and stuff. Oh yeah, I do remember.
Yeah,
I didn't take it to be that profound because it was a very like I don't know. It was a very surface level thing to say. I actually liked it. It didn't come across like super preachy to me, so that was good. It didn't feel like awkward within the show.
I was wondering if it came off.
It didn't come
it was true.
Yeah, it didn't come across.
Even though he ended up like losing his parents or whatever and all that, because of who he was getting by through life, and he's the owner of what, $1 billion, and Luke Cage is still out here. He doesn't even have a job.
Yeah, but he's out here smashing all these chicks and like that.
Smashing all these chicks has nothing to do with the struggles. Like you can smash a million chicks in your life.
He has his own level of privilege in a way, man. He's out
That's
here.
not privilege, Wesley.
Everybody's like, you're the hero.
Actually, let me stop because Wesley's a troll. I'm not
he's moving a washing machine. How does this afford an apartment? He's sweeping up hair at a barbershop. What? Like that?
He doesn't. No, he's not even scooping up the hair. Have you finished Luke Cage, Wesley? Because he doesn't have a job right now.
He was in prison. He was in prison at the beginning of this.
Yeah. So he doesn't have a job right now, and Pop got smoked, and I'm pretty sure that barbershop got closed. So.
Whoa! Please stop spoiling the rest of Luke Cage for me. No, I saw like this.
Nigga, you should have said that. You're acting like you've seen everything.
It doesn't matter.
Whatever.
Does Defenders Review hasn't watched all of them?
The only one I've seen all of is Iron Fist.
Oh my god!
Dude,
That's the worst show.
Nah, it's alright.
All I'm waiting for is the Punisher. But
how'd you feel about Iron Fist, Wesley? Since Iron Fist is your favorite, you liked it the most. How'd you feel about
Iron Fist in the Defenders?
Throwing up.
I felt like it was the same character and show handled by somebody more confident. Like everything was better about the character for the most part. It felt the same, but just in a better context. He actually looked like he could fight in the fight scenes in this one, which was a lot better. I didn't like the way Colleen was handled, obviously, but other than that, I felt like he was, for the Iron Fist version they created, not the comic book version. I felt like it was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I think he's starting to take on more of a lighthearted.
Yeah, I know.
No. I know the second he goes back to his own series, he's gonna become an edgelord again.
The thing is, I think that that was there at the beginning of Iron Fist. Like he had that goofy when he first showed up to the building.
He was goofy, then he turned edgy, and now he's turning goofy. But he's gonna be edgy again because when there's no one else there, he has to be edgy. Because and
that's the great thing about Iron Fist taking on the Daredevil moniker is that in the comics Iron Fist is different. So like he's not like mad at all. He's not as dark. So it's like Dr. Ock in Spider-Man taking over Spider-Man. It's like it's just an interesting different new take.
Interesting.
character.
I don't think
which is why I would be interested in seeing it.
that would be interesting, but I can't see them taking that risk because Daredevil was so popular. For them to like have a different star, what's he gonna be like? The Alfred? He's gonna be in the hospital giving him tips, and they're gonna take Iron Fist, the most controversial, the most divisive of all the shows, and make the star of that, the star of their most popular, successful show. Like it just seems like it would be a mess. Like it would be so risky. But if they did it, I will definitely watch it. That would be huge risk. That would be just like them closing their eyes and spinning the big wheel. Like
No, it's probably gonna focus on Karen, like making news reports, blah blah blah. Like Foggy doing whatever he does, sleeping with whatever her name
is Foggy
is.
his brother?
It's just
Nelson and Murdoch. They're both lawyers and they're best friends.
But one thing I didn't like the side characters in the show. Like Foggy and Karen were so annoying to me.
Well, like I said, like they had to be like pushed away.
Yeah, it was just I didn't like. The only side character I liked was Stick.
Stick with no side
In all
character.
of
The bro
Daredevil?
died.
But
He's even referring to
In the Defenders?
in the Defenders.
Yeah, in the Defenders, yeah.
No, Stick
I
annoys
thought
that.
Foggy, if it's who I think it is, I thought he was alright in that one scene. He was like giving him all the advice about how to like.
He gives him the suit. The guy
keep
who gives him the
focus,
suit.
and it's in the superhero. Yeah, he was saying like you need to be seen as a superhero, like your lives are intersecting.
I didn't mind Foggy. I didn't mind Foggy or Karen, to be honest. I thought
Karen was kind of superfluous. Like, she was just fucking there, like to make a cameo. Like she didn't really do much besides be a girl that was.
But once again, it's like Colleen. It would have been awkward if she wasn't there.
Oh, that's another thing. That's another thing. The one thing I realized I missed was Claire and how everyone keeps like saying that she's special. Like like she's tied to Lucy. Claire. Yeah. I think her name's Claire, isn't it? Oh.
Claire.
Yeah, Claire. Everyone keeps like referring to the fact, oh, you're special, and you know this person, you know that person, and it's weird how you keep stumbling onto these heroes. So I'm assuming that she's either gonna get her own series where like she finds out some stuff about herself.
She might, because in
Iron
Fist,
I feel like that's what they were hinting.
Yeah.
Wait,
so
what?
I don't know. She might have some kind of hidden ability.
Yeah, in Iron Fist, you see that she's studying chi to heal.
But I don't know.
So that she'll be able to heal better. And they might. I don't know if she's going to get her own series, but I think she's going to be.
Yeah.
Claire wouldn't make a good solo series.
Yeah, I think she's going to jump around.
Yeah.
Oh, but, what's her name? Misty. She got her arm cut off.
Robotic.
Yeah, that was the one thing that
I didn't see that coming.
I smiled. I wanted her.
I don't know.
I thought Bakuto killed her. I was like, yo, let's go.
I don't know if she's going to. I don't know if they're going to follow the comics, but she gets a
robotic arm.
Yeah, she gets her arm replaced. Yeah, and but I heard that they're gonna do like a Daughters of the Dragon with her and Colleen teaming up. I heard that.
No.
I don't know if that's true.
Oh no.
I don't know if it's true, but I heard that.
No way.
Wait,
who teamed up?
Although
what?
Misty and Colleen
Are they gonna be fighting Mariah?
There's no
I don't know
way.
who they're gonna be fighting.
There's no way.
Mariah.
As much as I would like, I actually like both of them, so I would like to see a spin-off with those characters.
I don't think they're gonna be in their own series, but I think. I don't think it's gonna be their own series, but like it's gonna be a storyline in one of the either Luke Cage or.
It would probably be Luke Cage. It would make more sense for Luke Cage because Luke Cage always has these supporting people, black folk, and blah, 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 blah.
Why do you hate Luke Cage?
Black.
I don't. It's
because you live in that part of the world. So like,
I mean, yeah, I do go to.
You're so used to people from Harlem.
Yeah, like I as a kid like grew up like going to barbershops with my brother like, and he'd always like threaten to cut my pigtail.
So is it realistic or is it like?
Yeah.
It is. That's how Harlem is.
No, I'm not specifically from Harlem, so I'm not gonna start like rapping.
I know,
but
no, I'm saying is that how
it just felt like it. That's why my dad liked it so much because he's used to that kind of like thing. It was like but I'm like, no, I've seen this too many times.
Like,
I
but
don't curse in my shop. Like this is a place. all the little hoodlums are my son. Like I raised
Harlem
them.
is coony like that. Harlem is coony like that.
It's so coony.
Harlem
like,
is
oh my
coony
gosh.
like. Harlem is coony like that though. That is Harlem.
Yeah, I know.
Super coony though. Luke Cage doesn't seem
No, I just don't think Luke Cage
coony.
has enough of a personality to carry his own series.
Luke was a police officer.
Luke was a civilized coon.
Yeah, so he was civilized.
He's a civilized coon.
I haven't
seen enough of it.
Yeah, I guess.
What was that kid's name who died? The one who's carrying the bag. Sorry.
Miley Shades? You talking about Shades?
Yo, Shades is my favorite character in Luke Cage, the white boy.
Shades.
The white man.
Oh, Shades?
Shades. You hate Shades?
No, I hate his name. He's fine, but I hate his name. I just because it's so like on the nose. I hate it. Yeah. So stupid.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. The Defenders.
Ratings? You just want to say ratings?
Yeah, but I want to say, to me, I think I liked the story was not good. The way they brought them all together was not good. It was not
kidding me.
Great, but I feel like all these characters, people are gonna argue Daredevil, no, because he was weaker or whatever. I feel like every character that maybe besides Daredevil was stronger in a group setting. I guess, like like I feel like they were better characters playing off of each other, like Danny and Luke and like Jessica Jones and Luke.
Danny and Jess definitely did better in group.
Yeah. I feel like they're better, except for Daredevil. I feel like they're all better interacting with each other as a team. Like they're
so Wesley, what you're saying is Danny needs a stable to get over with the crowd.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like Luke can carry his own show. I feel like Danny and Jess
Luke can definitely carry his own show.
Let's hop off. Like, all right, what do you think?
Danny is so
ratings, everyone, before this.
Well, Danny has Colleen, and Colleen did help the show. That's why I said like an arc focused on her would be good because she was better than he was in the show.
Yeah, I definitely think that Daughters of the Dragon thing is legit.
The thing is, at the beginning of the Defenders, it seemed like Danny and like Colleen were like a team, like they were partners at the beginning when they were like running around and like investigating the hand. So it seemed like she was going to be really active in the story, and then she wasn't. So it was a little awkward. Colleen and Danny at the beginning, Iron Fist and his girlfriend or whatever. Because that's how the Defenders started. Like they were together and they were just like investigating. Remember, and they were like running around.
Yeah.
So it seemed like they were going to be like active, whatever. It was weird that Iron Fist was so important to this plot, considering just like because I just have that cloud of like people hating that show over my head. So, like the fact that he was so central to the plot, like it was.
But he's so central to the hand.
Who, Danny?
So like
yeah.
So he kind of has to be.
Yeah.
I mean,
a lot of people never even saw it.
That's probably why
they made the show.
It wasn't as great because it was connected to freaking Iron Fist most of the time. Like and also another thing they messed up on, like I don't know if you guys said this because I wasn't paying attention to some of the things you said. Take it personally if you want to. But
what? Wait.
It was a sarcastic joke, right? But
it's you, Kevin. I still have that screenshot, Kevin.
No, but
no way.
What I was saying, screenshot of what? But one of the things that missed on was the entire like the fact that like Claire pretty much smashed through like all the guys there, and Jessica being there, and Colleen, and you had what the
time loop.
What was I saying? They could have done something interesting with that a little bit. Like they had up to eight episodes to do something.
You think the girls should have fought with each other?
Yeah. No, but I feel like there should have been some kind of friction.
Romantic friction?
Between the
Friction because of
females?
the romance. No, I'm saying like in general because of like
jealousy.
Yo, I
and
was
stuff?
waiting for.
a little bit, yeah.
I was waiting
Because
for
Claire's been
Claire,
through the
Matt,
squad.
and Luke. I was waiting for that, and it didn't
Claire's
happen.
been through the squad.
Yeah, but it seemed pretty clear at this point. Like she was with Luke
No,
during
but
the
Matt, they never
I'm
have
not.
a moment where they're embracing, and
Well,
Matt
see,
just sees
I'm not saying like Luke should be angry. Like at this point, like if they met each other, like okay, she's with him, but it kind of makes me feel some type of way. I don't have to feel that way. Like he's not angry. He doesn't feel like betrayed or anything, but he feels some type of way that like he was with Claire, and now this guy's with Claire, and they have to be in that awkward. Yeah.
I wanted that too, Kevin.
I didn't know she was with Matt Murdock.
Yeah.
What's he? Oh, damn! I forgot you haven't seen Daredevil. I keep forgetting about.
Yeah.
Didn't even watch these freaking series, man. Like,
It was weird that they didn't address that at all.
Yeah, that's why I was complaining.
That's super
That's why
weird,
they
then.
didn't. That's why they didn't put. They only put her towards like the last second, in which he's Daredevil and she doesn't have time to address it. Like that made me upset. I wanted Claire to be involved and she just wasn't. And she was so like intimate with all these characters. Besides, like probably the least Jessica. But like with Matt, I was like, yo, why are they giving them like screen time? I was upset.
yo, Matt clapped those cheeks at least 3 or 4 times, I think.
Who?
Matt got a
Maybe, but
he had a lot of girls.
Claire? I don't think he ever. I don't think they ever.
I don't think
no,
they
they never went that far. But she was like, "Are we gonna
who?
define
Matt and
Claire?" Yeah.
Yeah.
They
He
never
hit it
went
like
that
3
far.
times.
No,
They did hit
no,
3 times. They only kissed.
no. Because she was like, Matt, you keep doing this to me. You keep leaving me. You don't answer your phone. Like she was so like upset. Like it was more like.
How did Matt date?
Oh, that was because his shirt was off, so I assumed. Okay.
Good
He
night.
dated Alexa in college.
Really?
Yeah.
He was at college with a inhuman killing machine. Like what?
Yeah. Stick sent
It's a
her.
long story.
Stick sent her to Matt because she doesn't know she's the Black Sky until like the last episode.
And that was another good thing because they used that to kind of cause friction between them and Stick. But Elektra, just know Elektra is very central. Is going to be very important going forward.
Elektra, that Elektra Matt backstory was too edgy for me. Like, oh my god, they were trying to be so edgy. Like, you think Jessica Jones is edgy? Like, they were like, we're teens, we can do what we want, we just breaks glass. Like, oh, we're in someone's house, breaks more. Like, let's have sex right here. Like,
insane, man.
Extra edginess.
Yeah, they had lots of sex, but. Lots,
Elektra
but
seems very
going forward. Daredevil is gonna feel the most change. Like he's gonna feel the most like consequences.
Of the Defenders.
Yeah, that's such a Luke probably the least.
Okay, let's do ratings and then let's do what you would like to see from the next season of whatever these shows, all of these shows, the next Defenders. Because they're probably going to do another Defenders. What changes you'd like to see in all these shows moving forward? Let's start with Dosa. Or Mariah, I guess.
Right. For me, I don't know what they're going to do with Jessica because Jessica, out of all the characters, is the only character who finished her season with like a closed door. Like she's the only one who had nothing really going into this. So it's going to be interesting to see. She could easily adapt this into her own series of 0 issues. Like out of all the characters, like she just can do whatever she wants. Her villain was just like not really involved. Like she's probably gonna move back towards Luke Cage, but I don't see Jessica being in Harlem too much. So I have no idea what I want from her. Like it'd be funny to see her in Harlem. I have
Luke
no
Cage
idea.
crossover with anyone besides maybe Daredevil. It's just like funniest thing.
I don't.
They're just hanging out in Harlem. Like, hey.
I can see Daredevil because they already have the season 3 in production, and it should almost be done by now. Like I kept refreshing my freaking page about it, but they're definitely gonna have like Karen and Froggy take the lead for the first few episodes as Matt heals or whatever they're gonna do. Luke's gonna go back to the Mariah Shades story. Yeah, so I don't think Luke's gonna be the least affected by this because he kept asking in the beginning, like, Mariah Shade's involved, and they really weren't. So he's automatically gonna be thrown with that and not really dealing with this. So I don't think he's gonna be involved with the whole Iron Fist and Danny thing. Danny's probably Danny and Matt are gonna be the most affected by the Defenders. Probably Matt the most, Danny second, because I could see Danny just trying to go back, trying to find a new Kunlun opening. Maybe it's not dead. Like, my dragon. Like, oh my god. I hope that Danny stays the same. Is all I'm gonna say. Like, Danny.
As he is in the Defenders, or as
Yes,
he is in
like
Iron
I just hope that
Oh
I hope like
my
that they
God.
adapt.
Danny?
I hope they adapt
Where
to this
would you
Danny.
rank the Defenders out of all these shows? I'm guessing Daredevil's at the top. Like, where would you put it in? Which shows would you put it in between? Or
Below
below?
Jessica Jones, maybe above Luke Cage for me. My list being Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Defenders, Luke, then Iron Fist.
Wow.
Luke might beat it. Luke might beat it.
Okay. Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to see from the Netflix shows? And
He
where
sounds
would
like he's
you
about
rank
to like
this?
try to fact check me.
Where would you rank this, like, in your list of the shows? The Defenders. Where?
Would I rank the Defenders?
Yes.
You said what would I like to? What was your first question again?
And what would you like to see from the next seasons of Netflix Marvel shows?
Oh, all these. Okay.
Yeah.
Daredevil clearly.
We're seeing the Punisher.
We're gonna see. The Punisher's coming out with the Defenders.
The preview looks good, even though I've never seen this character in Daredevil yet. Like, it looks super interesting.
Frank Castle?
I got hyped
Castle,
from the preview. I was like, yeah.
My favorite character in all the series. Oh my god.
You can see Frank Castle when you watch one of these series, Wesley. But I don't want to. But
I'm watching Daredevil.
what do I want to see from this?
Part of me really
Daredevil
wants to watch
1.
Jessica Jones.
Daredevil 1. I want to see because I know that of course Matt's going to feel the effects of Elektra getting Millie Rock, him somehow surviving. Something happened down in Midland Circle. Besides him escaping, like there's more to that. So like they're probably gonna spend the first couple episodes going through that. Then there's gonna be like some Elektra, how it affects his mind or whatever, and he's gonna mull through a bunch of things.
Wait.
Then Jessica Jones, I don't really have anything to say about Jessica Jones, so I'm just gonna skip that. Luke Cage, I think this season is gonna be kind of like the first, like in the fact that like he's trying to like better his community, but something else is gonna happen. It's not gonna be more so about the villain. It's gonna be more so about like the mayor in Harlem, the black lady. I don't know her name, but he's gonna try to.
Wow.
Like, yeah, I forgot her name.
Good. Kevin.
No, that's black lady.
Kevin.
The black
really?
lady.
Are you offended?
Yes, I'm offended. Kevin.
I don't know her name.
Thank
I only
Kevin.
cared about Cottonmouth. I don't care about the other lady. Look.
Hurt.
Yeah, but it's gonna be more about him and their kind of battle. They're gonna have some kind of standoff. His relationship with Claire is gonna be challenged in some way.
Do you hear this?
Yo, I don't remember the lady's name. She was just fodder to me like the entire time. When the Cottonmouth, her.
Edosa, I'm offended.
Hey.
Wait,
But it's gonna be her squaring off with Luke.
Oh my god, Kevin, her name's Mariah.
Yeah, I know.
Black lady.
Iron Fist.
What's her name?
Iron Fist cannot disappoint me. But no, to be honest, the fight scenes definitely are going to be better since we got indications from what we saw in the Defenders.
He made a statement like, "We got new people. Like, don't worry about it, fam."
Yeah, we're not just new people, but
new people like instructing the fighting things and stuff. Like,
Oh, okay.
He made sure to say that. He was like, "Don't worry, we fire a lot of people." Basically.
I'm just angry.
Yeah.
Wait, can I
Luke
have a
Cage.
question? I'm
Yeah.
sorry. How many people do you think actually died in that fucking building crash? Like, how many characters are actually KO'd?
None of them. None of them.
Nobody died.
I think Elektra's the next big antagonist in Daredevil,
Oh,
right?
that's it. No. That's it. No. Here's the thing. If Elektra goes back to being a Daredevil exclusive after this, I'm calling bullshit.
Really? Well, that's what I
Because,
assumed was gonna happen.
but how? If all of them could not beat her unless Matt is wooing her with love poems for the rest of like the whole thing, like it's gonna be, he's gonna get whipped. At this point, there's no way Elektra can just like fight Matt one-on-one and for it to be a believable fight because she could take all of them on.
Well, according to you guys, Daredevil's so strong.
Yeah, no,
I never said
he-
Daredevil was so
But
strong. I
Nick-
said he was a
is
great
strong,
fighter.
bro.
he is a strong, but if she can fight all four of them, it would be unbelievable at this point for Matt to start doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can't
Yeah.
like.
I mean,
Matt
I
is
do know Elektra's gonna
advanced.
come back. I think.
Of course she's gonna. My hope in the world is that Elektra just goes away. Like Elektra ruined season 2 for me. For like Frank Castle was everything I needed in season 2, but Elektra ruined it. Like anytime
Correct.
Elektra and Matt were in the same room, it got me
Who's
annoyed.
this Frank Castle you speak of, Mariah? I don't think. But oh my god, it doesn't understand what I'm trying to do. But whatever.
I don't know.
No one knows.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
When he tries to when you want him to alley you, but
Yeah.
he didn't give him singles.
I don't see him purposely leaving you out in the cold.
I didn't even say anything. I was thinking about what they do with Elektra because they went completely. I mean, they.
Let me watch. He just texted me, "Let me watch Kevin Squirm for a little while." Like he just texted me.
I don't know where they're gonna go with Elektra next. I think she's gonna be an ally to Matt, like the Punisher is. She's gonna pop in here and there, but I don't think she's gonna be a focal point.
So the Punisher's an ally to Daredevil?
No, not really. Not really.
I thought he was like an antagonist. Or something.
In the show, but at the end, he helped him out.
Stop.
My bad. I keep forgetting.
He is chaotic neutral, Wesley. That is all we're saying.
Yeah.
All right, he is chaotic neutral.
I don't think they would conflict with their.
They do, and it's amazing.
No. Wesley, the Punisher is his foil.
Okay.
So like they have, so they both have the same base of what they want to do, but there's slight difference in their backstory. Makes the slight difference in their opinion just makes it such an intense like argument when there's arguing about their values and how they go about things.
It's basically what Batman v Superman should be.
It's a paper thin line about their differences, and it's so intense. It's such a great.
What you're saying is everything about Daredevil is like a Batman knockoff.
It basically
it is actually yes. I've said that before. It is.
Elektra's a fake Catwoman.
Yes.
Yes.
But it's because Frank Miller kind of established who Batman was, and he also established who Daredevil was. So he kind of did the same thing with two different characters.
I'm drawing my.
We're not gonna get into Frank Miller.
I know you're not about to disrespect.
Hey, Frank Miller.
Well, let's wrap this up before we start.
Yeah, but I think the next big antagonist is going to be the Kingpin. Again. I think he's going to come back again, and he's going to be Daredevil's next antagonist.
Again.
Can we talk about how Karen never got her consequences for Wesley? Like, come on, yo! Like, I've been waiting
for that. This whole is she judging Karen? Is she has secrets?
Everybody there.
Wesley was.
Karen. Yeah, Karen.
Yeah. So like, Wesley was like, I'm waiting for that to bite her in the butt, and it just hasn't. I've been like waiting here for like seasons on end. Like, when is this coming back to her? He has to find out though, right?
I think they're gonna. I don't know because they also did. Daredevil did some weird things. Like Stick. Remember Stick's master? that big giant. He was in season 2. That big giant dude that he was actually taking the leader of the chase. He kind of disappeared, and I basically, what Alexandria said was that all the members
Alexandra. Oh my god.
Alexandra
I'm so sorry.
said all the members of the chase died, and I was like, wait, what about Styx Master? You telling me they killed him? If you go back and watch Daredevil, it's the big giant dude that he.
That's weird. I literally rewatched Daredevil like season 2 with Alex. So, well, that's a lie. I only rewatched the Frank Castle.
He was the leader of the chase, but he just for some reason he was.
I'm blanking out.
So I don't know if that Karen thing is going to get tied up.
No, it needs to. I want my main baby back from season my. Oh my gosh.
All right, and so what would you put this on the list of all the Netflix shows? And what do you pretty much just said what you expected. But where would you put this?
I haven't finished Jessica Jones yet.
Oh my god! Fans.
Girl.
The man who claims he loves women so much, and the female main character is my favorite thing.
I'm interested. It's good. It's good so far. It's good. It's alright. It's alright.
Girl.
But I like it better than Luke Cage. I like it better than Iron Fist. So for me,
really?
It's second. Yeah.
I told you.
Both hate Luke Cage.
I don't. Luke Cage is not. I like him. I like Luke Cage in a group setting. I do not like him by himself. He's not.
Why?
He's not interesting enough to carry his own series for me.
Really? I thought
Wesley.
I mean, I haven't seen the whole series.
It was like the first half is just him just being like a superhero dude who just deflects. They're in Harlem, so all they're doing is throwing like coon bullets at him. So it's not working. Half the season, it's not working. And the second half of the season, they add a more supernatural element to it, which is why I like it more because they made it more of a superhero show. Before it was like you were watching one of those stereotypical like Harlem Boy movies, and he deflects bullets.
Leave him alone, Dre.
What's that? I told you.
The fact that he was bulletproof made it uninteresting because there was no issue until halfway through. There was no issue. Like Luke was just gliding through the first half. It was like okay, nothing's gonna happen. Like don't spoil him, but like nothing's gonna happen because he's bulletproof. It's like oh my gosh.
Thanks for bringing it. This is not really a spoiler.
Oh my god, this dude's about to spoil you.
Okay, so another antagonist could be in Luke Cage. They did introduce in Luke Cage Hammer Industries, and Wesley, if you remember from the Ultimate Spider-Man comics, Hammer Industries is the one. Hammer Industries is the one that has like Sandman. They basically come up with the Sinister Six. That's where Rhino comes from. Hammer Industries works. Hammer Industries works with like they test on people and give them superhuman abilities.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So that could be another antagonist. They introduced that industry in Luke Cage. That could be the next big antagonist moving forward.
Do you think Mariah's going to be more sidelined?
I know. I don't think Mariah's going to be sidelined for
Mariah doesn't have the hockey.
I don't like Mariah.
She's going to be there, but
I like her.
I don't think she's going to be sidelined for season 2.
Do you think they're gonna do what they did with what's his name, Fisk? Like in which like she kind of like lurks in the shadow kind of this season, and then the next season she'll probably come out. So I hope Fisk comes back. Fisk is my favorite thing in the universe. Oh my god!
I think Fisk is definitely coming back.
Fisk, my baby.
But look out for Hammer Industries because that could be a huge thing. And I think that's the only way you can raise the stakes. Everybody else is after the Hand. The only way you can get bigger, especially with these street level characters, is Hammer.
You like the street level thing though.
I do, but
he's saying
I don't
think
the shows are going to go backwards. I don't think the shows are going to go like, you just face the Hand. Now we're going to fight lower people.
They have to keep going.
Yeah, they have to keep going. I know the show is going to keep going
Pierce
forward.
the heavens, man.
Yeah. Okay. Where would you rank the Defenders among all the other shows?
I got a second for me so far.
Oh, I didn't even answer that question. Yeah, the Hammer is like
it's second.
It goes.
Yeah, it's second.
I said fourth. It goes DD. Jessica
Yes.
Jones is probably
Okay.
third. Then Defenders. Then
The
Iron Fist
longest
is last.
pause.
Wait, do
I
that
had to
again,
think
Kevin?
about it.
What was it? Who was second?
I said Luke Cage is second for me.
Oh. And then what? And then what, Kevin?
Right? What is there beef with Luke Cage? Like, yo,
They
Luke
both
Cage
hate
is
Luke
great.
I
Cage.
said my beef.
They both said they hate it. Too many
You
blacks.
both said it's
I
too
don't hate
Cooney.
it. I don't hate it. I just
Too
don't.
Cooney. And too
Yeah,
dirty.
Luke-
it doesn't
I don't
seem
hate it.
Cooney to me. Maybe because
I'm white.
I
I'm a
haven't seen
whitewashed
Jessica
black
Jones.
girl. I'll
I
tell you.
haven't seen Jessica Jones, but I'm slipping in at number 3, and then I'll put Defender at number 4, and then
Ooh.
Why are you gonna slip Jessica Jones a show you've never seen?
because it can't it can't be worse.
The hypothetical show is better than this actual.
I just heard that Jessica Jones doesn't end well. That's all. I just heard
It's
that
not.
ending is
It's what?
Yeah. It can't be worse than the Defenders, and it can't be worse than
No,
So,
what happens to the world where all these superhero shows become so over the top, edgy though? Like,
well,
these people
but
never.
this is the opposite of the Marvel movie universe where everything's like happy-go-lucky. So it's kind of like,
I guess it's
and Daredevil. This all is spawned from Daredevil and his success. And Daredevil is it's close to Batman, as edgy as you can get.
yeah, it's like TV Dark Knight.
It's more edgy because everything's like red. Yeah. It's really.
He blind, like he's always like, I can't see the world.
The way he talks is edgy.
All I see is flames.
Yeah. The world is fire, Claire. I see a world of fire.
Oh,
okay, but when Matt is talking to his right, you're Catholic. Is it a pope or is
you don't know the word?
Priest.
Interesting.
Is it what is it his, no, it's not deacon. Is it no, not he's not the pope. It's not a priest, yeah, his priest.
That's my favorite recurring thing though. That is
every scene with him and his priest is amazing. Their back and forth are always great.
I thought that was interesting that he was religious. Is that actual?
Yeah, no. He's consistent. It is a consistent, like, he consistently goes back to the church. Like, there's not, like, he never doesn't go there.
When I saw that in Defenders, I was like, Daredevil.
He repents every time he goes down, and
every 3 to 4 episodes at minimum, he's
That's
back
very
there.
strange.
Yeah, he's such an interesting character, which is why his Daredevil is even more intense because he's always like I think there was one scene where in the middle of it, like something blows up and he just like quickly does like the prayer sign.
Yeah.
Matt, I love you.
Yeah. I mean, every time he repents, every time he goes out.
No, because his dad, if I remember correctly, his dad was like a big Catholic.
Yeah.
So that's like one of the ties.
Yeah.
Like I think the part of his backstory, like his dad has something in relation to his Catholic faith.
I want to meet his mommy because now Stick's gone, so we need to meet his actual mommy.
Didn't his mom die?
Yeah, we do. No, his mom isn't dead.
He tried to contact. Jack tries to contact her and stuff.
So the Defender is the weakest of the. The second best.
The second weakest. Get the hell out.
Defenders, I guess.
That's not.
This is one of the best, and I don't know.
Wesley, you've seen one series.
You might disagree with me.
No, I'm asking. No, because Adosa and Mariah both think this.
I'm just saying you might disagree with me.
I said Jessica Jones and Daredevil are above it, and so you haven't seen those two yet. So keep watching, Wesley.
I mean, I might put Jessica Jones over it once I finish.
Jessica Jones over it.
No. It's a girl. It's a girl.
What do you mean it's a good?
Hey, y'all realize Wesley is making these statements, not me.
Wait, you guys wouldn't be interested in an Elektra show?
Spinoff?
Yeah.
I would not touch it.
From what little I've seen, I'll do it.
Look, if she says I'm Elektra Nachos for 5 episodes.
Nachos.
No, she's not gonna say
it.
She has too much of a prominent like essence in like the Defenders and Daredevil. She doesn't need one.
Yeah, there's too much of her at this point.
Yeah, it's too much, and I don't like her in general.
I mean, nachos everywhere.
Nachos.
Actually, you know what?
Nacho Grande.
If they did like
Is she Spanish? Like Spanish British?
No,
or something? Like,
she's mixed.
what is with her accent? It's like all over.
No.
She's
no,
like,
I think
she's Armenian.
French?
Armenian? Like
Yeah.
Argentinian?
I have to look back.
But she has like this British Spanish
I'll look.
accent. That's just,
I'll
like,
look.
No,
bounces
she came from London or whatever. She came from Britain.
Yeah, it
But
bounces back and forth.
If Electra had like barely said anything and she just threw hands for like straight episodes, I'd probably watch the hell out of that. But
Her voice.
No, I don't want. That's why I don't. I want her. I liked in the beginning because I've seen the Electra with the personality. I liked how she was kind of like a weapon because I wanted to see that version. But I want her to go back to being like this like person who loves to kill, who like kind of fights it but loves the thrill of killing people.
oh yeah, I forgot about that. She liked killing a lot.
Yes, yeah. She's
I
she loves the thrill of killing people.
Yo,
watched
did you
Daredevil
see what she
in a
did on the
straight
kitchen
year.
floor? She was like, kill him, Matt. Kill him.
Yeah, like she's insane. Like she's unhinged.
That was one of the cringiest things. I had to talk through that.
All right, so Defenders, you guys enjoyed it. Getting a lot of controversy.
I think the only way I can describe this is a missed opportunity, but enjoyable at times.
All right.
Yeah, if you watched the
because
other
of
series,
villains,
it's worth watching. But
I guess
it's worth watching if you've seen the other series. But if
Yeah.
you haven't, then it's a miss.
A missed opportunity, but worth watching.
All right. Is there a grade you would give it? A letter grade?
C, a C, not plus or minus, just a C. Maybe a C plus.
What the Defenders? Oof.
Are they gonna do a Defenders 2? Would you watch?
Either a C minus or a D plus.
Yes, I definitely think they're going to do a season 2. I think the numbers are great. So I think they're definitely going to do a season 2.
Is there any character from the other shows that you would like to see appear in this?
Ward?
Ward?
I can't believe they dogged my boy's on a business trip. Don't give me
I
that.
mean, nah, man. That dude, he's on the brink of insane, bro. Ward needed one.
No, but I would have liked Danny to be talking to Ward other than that girl that we don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I would
That's
like
true.
Ward to be in that seat. Yeah.
I love Ward.
That's disappointing. Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Release. Marvel's The Punisher preparing for release. Marvel's Luke Cage season 2 filming. Yeah. Marvel Iron Fist to be announced in development. Marvel's Daredevil season 3 pre-production.
They're doing Luke Cage before they're doing Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones isn't filming. They're Jessica Jones season 2 and Luke Cage are both filming at the same time, and season 3 of Daredevil is pre-production. So Jessica Jones is coming out, and Luke Cage is coming out in 2018, but they don't have a month yet. No. And everything else is TBA besides Marvel's The Punisher, which is preparing for release 2017, as we all know. 13 episodes. Oh, it better be good.
Remember, if Iron Fist, and even if he's just in the first 2 episodes of Daredevil season 3, as Daredevil. Remember, I called it here, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God!
We're gonna hear for 10 years if he's right.
I would grab a knife and just stab my crowd.
The risk that was taking. You know how few people who watched Daredevil saw Iron Fist? A lot.
Can we all talk about?
I guess no. There people watch all of them. I guess it's kind of set up to be supposed to watch all of them.
Danny's already like annoying.
Yeah, if you've watched 2, you're gonna be watching all of them.
Him.
Yeah.
If you watched
I don't
1,
think Danny was very annoying. He was alright.
Danny in a suit.
He's the only one that annoyed me.
No, go away, Kevin.
I find him very annoying.
He was
Stupid decision.
Alright, well, I feel like he lined it up, but I think
wrapping things up.
Yeah, now we can end this and we can do our Riverdale review.
You're doing a Riverdale review?
No, I'm just joking.
I almost cried.